All right, all you snowboarders of the internet, we're here, we're live, we're taking your questions, so get them in the chat box wherever it appears on your device. I'm going to try to answer all your guys' questions. Super chats, get a spin of the wheel, no big prize again this week. Or maybe I'll change my mind midway through. We never know what I'm going to do. So, yeah, let's do that. Got a couple links down in the description for videos for you guys to check out. You should also check out Blaze's Boot Camp if that's your thing. If you're looking for like an adult congregation of snowboarders to get together and do cool shit. I mean, I was actually invited to it. Unfortunately, it's during the busiest time of the year for me, so I can't make it. I had to respectfully decline, but I am a firm believer in it. Maybe next year I'll go. Also, if you haven't heard, there's a link in the description, but we are trying to get a bunch of outerwear for the Shred Foundation. We're looking for small and large men's and women's pants specifically, or jackets would be good too. If you do have hard goods and it's not ancient as fuck, they will take it. And by ancient as fuck, I mean anything over like 5-6 years. But yeah, there's a address down in the description for that as well. But the cool thing is we're running that drive from now until December 9th, 10th, something like that. But I'm going to pick 3 winners at random. They're going to get an Angry Snowboarder prize pack for merchandise, custom made stuff for you. So yeah. So, all right. Anyways, so let's see what we got here. Looking for some questions. All right. Well, we got a super chat from our boy Letters. I made a live stream spin for sticker addiction. Whew. What do we got? Spin again. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, donate to the Shred Foundation. That's what we were always talking about. Anyways, yeah. So let's get some of those questions. Do that. I might run a second poll later in this live stream just to see if I should do a Sunday night live stream. We'll see about that. We'll see how I'm feeling. Anyways, okay. Let's see. All right. Well, we got Adam Lowe, the man, the myth, the guy that wears a Dickie button up and tie for his profile photo. What's a low-key resort out west where I could go and get some POW this season? Powder Mountain, Utah. It's low-key enough. Don't go on a weekend, but it's low-key enough. You're far enough out. That's what I would recommend. It's not crazy high-angle snow, so it's good stuff. You can definitely get out there, check it out, rip it around. Should be good stuff. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Let's see. Looking for questions. Let's see where we. Okay. Let's look for some of these questions and try to get this going. Raul Duke, live stream competition with the bomb hole. No, I got the same email and was like, fuck, they're live streaming at the same time I live stream every week. No, it's cool. They're doing their own thing over there for Ben Ferguson's movie on the bomb hole. So, yeah, I figure that's only going to last maybe a half hour to an hour. So I'll be here for probably 2. All right. All right. Our boy Billy Ray Valentine. What are you a firm believer in? Traditional camber. I'm a very firm believer in it. All right. We got a super chat from Billy Ray Valentine. R.I.P. Elstekker's Adventure. Rest in peace. R.I.P. 35 days until Mammoth. Watch Andor. Just a reminder, I had a vasectomy. Don't support Disney. They're an evil, evil corporation. and pray to the altar of snowboarding. All right, we got one here from Ave. Would you consider the Mega Merc and the regular Mercury a twin? They are both symmetrical, yet Capita doesn't describe them as twin boards. How come? Because they have a setback. They're directional twins. So you've got a setback. So it's twin side cut to side cut, but they are actually set back. So all right. And just a PSA from Raul Duke. Clearly the soundtrack for Kitten Worship is Slayer. Just let that out there for everyone to know. Okay, we got Bert Bondi with the super chat. Take AWF your pants and take off your pants and jacket. Take off. He spelled off AWF off. Sorry. That's something I would expect from Jimmy Fuckhouse to say. Which, did anyone catch my video I posted on Instagram today? Been sitting on that one for a while. He's all like, you got to be sly and put your sticker on the back of the chair so the people behind you see it and people won't pick it off. Next clip, it's a dude just yanking it right off the chair. Been holding on to that one for a while. Like, you post stickers, my people will rip them down. Yeah. Ooh. Pick a random question and give them a spin. All right. Steve Black, have you ever thought about riding a 10 or 20-year-old board and reviewing how they held up and how they can... No, fuck, no. Just fuck, no. I don't give a shit. Dude, I grew up riding that stuff. It wasn't fun 20 years ago. We are literally in the golden age of snowboards. They're so much better to ride than anything from 20 years ago. I don't understand everyone's addiction to being like, I gotta go ride the oldest fucking thing I can. Then they slap on some godforsaken old death traps for their fucking gripper grips on there. And you're looking at them and they're chalky white. And you're like, that binding's literally going to blow up if the temperature changes 1 more degree. Why would you do that to yourself? I don't understand. Like, there's no fucking reason for that. No. I have no ambition to ride these shitty old boards. There's stuff I liked 20 years ago. They were fun. Doesn't mean I want to go ride them. Like, you think I want to go ride a Burton with its max stance being like 20 inches on a 159? Fuck no, I don't. No. Just no. You do get a spin, but still no. Bad. I hope you choke on a Malort Glizzy. Ugh. PK, hi, Avran. What is the purpose of inverted camber rocker? Is it only useful for beginners and tree riding? Well, it's actually really good in POW too. It makes things a lot easier. So what it does is with that full reverse, it makes things easier to ride. The problem is you have to have the right side cut on something that's reversed. Otherwise it becomes a saucer sled. Yes, it is easier for beginners. Yes, it will be easier in trees. Yes, it's easier in the park. But you're sacrificing control, edge hold, power drive, load and snap as well off of it. So, yeah. Or Ian, I got nothing. Spin that shit. Oh, we're doing one of these today. You lose. Ouch. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Okay, Ted G. Hey, man, can you recommend a comparable boards to the Mountain Twin, but have a softer flex? Oh, yeah. Yeah, easily. So that would be the Battalion Fun Kink, the Public Display. I think that, yeah, because the Disorder's Joseph. It's the display. Yeah, the Public Display. The Nidecker Escape. Let's see what else. Rome Agent. And I think while we're at it, we'll throw the Rosinal Resurgence on there as well. So that's 5 boards right there for you to choose from. All right, Byron Meter. I'm 6 foot, 190 pounds. I do a lot of push-ups. Do you think a beefed up board like the Mega Merc and a 155 is too small? I mean, it's doable. I'm not going to say it's the greatest thing on earth for you. I mean, if you're like an intermediate rider, yeah, you'll be fine on it. If you actually know how to ride, it's going to be too little board. You should probably bump up to that 57. All right. Officer McNasty. Hey, Angry, can you give me the backstory on Slimothy Whitman? Always hear his voicemails, but want to know more. Well, Slimothy Whitman is some kind of a troglodyte. It's a they, them. We don't really know what it is. And I use the term it. It might be a man. It might be a woman. I don't know. Is he 100% psychotic? Yes. Yes, he is. So back in the day when we were all stuck inside due to the COVIDs, because people decide to eat bat stew and then make out with each other and then fuck pangolins and whatever. I was doing like 3 live streams a week, and I had this thing called the morning show, and I had a phone number. I had a Google phone number, which I'm going to bring back at some point. And people would call in, and Slimothy was one of the ones that would call in. And Slimothy has held on to that number and still calls in on the regular. On the regular. Johnny Crook, do you have love for the Bombhole podcast or no? I mean, it's there. Sometimes I check out what they're doing. Sometimes I don't. Grenier doesn't like me, so I really don't give a fuck. So, all right. Oof. Jacob Iverson, any ideas on shady ways to make extra cash to afford my girlfriend's expensive Christmas gift and my new board? All ideas are welcome. Well, you could fuck 30 chicks for $100 a pop, and that's going to get you $3,000. Or you could fuck 3,000 chicks for $1 a pop. That'll do it. You can always sell your blood and semen. You can become a man whore and just get pegged in the butt. And that's another way to do things. OnlyFans is an option, but better than OnlyFans is OnlyFeet, which still haven't seen the entry to my feet on WikiFeets. Kind of disappointed in you people. You haven't put me on WikiFeets yet. But you could always go and sign up for OnlyFeets and take photos of your feet and your girlfriend's feet and post them and sell them for people. Also, what the fuck are they destroying outside? That is loud as shit. They're like scraping something out there. But yeah, you could do that. Let's see. You could become a drug mule. You know, that's always a possibility too. I mean, don't really recommend it. You could fight people for money, preferably homeless. Bum fights used to be a thing. It could always be a thing again. So you have options. Okay. Ryan Weddle, currently ride an algorithm, looking for a jib type board to add to the quiver. Playful buttery twin for Wisconsin Hills. Room gangplank. Go to the Ride Zero. What the fuck are they doing out there? The Ride Zero would be another one. You can't go wrong with a Rome Artifact as well. The Ride Kink is on there. You could do a K2 World Peace or a Geometric, so you got a bunch of options there. Okay. So, yeah. All right. We got T-Turtle 11. Please, please, please. What are your binding recommendations for the K2 Party Platter? So if you go K2, you want the Lean AT. The Union Strata would be another one that you could put on there. And I will throw the Burton Malavita on there as well. And maybe the bent metal joint. So that gives you 4 options. All right. Let's take a super chat here. From Sex 1607. Hi, Angry. I have a free unlimited machine wax at REI. Is that good enough if I apply every 1 or 2 sessions, or should I be getting hot wax for optimal? I don't wax. Wax is pointless. Get a structure. Get a structure and clean your base when it gets filthy. I don't wax. like ever. It's not worth it. Like any performance enhancement you'd get from wax is typically gone within 3 to 5 laps. After that, it's just shit you smeared on the top of it or on the base of it. That's it. Structure. Structure is way more important. Oh, where are we going? Boy, that thing really bounced back. Spin again. This thing's possessed. Support the Shred Foundation, people. I got a link down in the description. And I got a contest going for anyone that donates their old gear. I know usual person that's in here. Oh, whoa, we got a phone call. We got a phone call. And I believe it is Slimothy Whitman. Slim!
Listen to me, you fucking dick nose. I came into the chat because I saw you were talking about me, okay? And I woke up today singing, say no more, no more, because it's every day, okay? Because you're hosting a live stream, which makes it every day, okay? Like that movie with Rex, okay? Say no more, no more.
Do you mean Empire Records?
I don't know what I mean anymore. Okay, all I know is I come in and then you're a fucking dick nose moderator. Oh, I'm going to fucking kill him someday.
Breathe, Slim, breathe.
It puts me on timeout. It puts me on timeout. I don't have to tolerate this anymore. Okay, he does not have good customer service. Okay, his customer service is very poor.
I think his customer service is great.
I don't agree.
Well, you're not a customer.
I fucking kill him. Okay. I'm going to.
You're not a customer, Slim. You've never paid for a super chat. You've never donated anything.
I can't figure out the credit card, Avran. Okay.
Yeah, you don't have one. I know you don't. You drive a 93 Miata.
No, I don't have that car anymore. Why do you keep talking about it? Okay. Do you remember when I had the dog coin? Okay, and I got it for my house in Henderson. Do you remember that? Do you remember that day?
Oh, Slim. Well, Slimothy Whitman, everybody. Like a bad case of herpes, it just appears and it doesn't want to go away. Oh. Anyways, yeah, so down in the description, I've got a contest going for Shred Foundation for anyone that donates old gear. Vanessa Vargas tagged me on Instagram. She's sending out a bunch of stuff. I know a bunch of you guys have sent stuff. So this is running till the first week, pretty much the first week of December or second week, somewhere around there, like the 10th. It's going to run through. I'm going to pick 3 random people that donated old gear to the Shred Foundation. They're going to win a prize from Angry. This is separate in conjunction to the annual fundraiser that we're going to have coming up as well. So, yeah. Okay. All right. We got David Dixon, spin for snap, pop, and drive. All right. We'll spin it. Subscribe, or else Slim Whitman will come to your house. Okay, 4x4 therapy. Hey, Avran, have you seen the K2 Party Platter times Tony Hawk collaboration thoughts? They did it last year. I mean, at this point, doing it 2 years in a row seems kind of dumb. Timothy C. Suggestion on tuning base and side edges with Edge Tuner tool that comes with 80 and 90 degree bevel. Thank you. Run the 88 on the base so it elevates the edge just a little bit. And so what that's going to do is it elevates it so you're not going to get that drag when you flat base it. Keep the edge at 90 if you're riding like ice. That's what I used to do, is keep it at 90. Normally they want you to do like a 2 degree on the side, 2 degree on the base. So that way you keep it at a 90 degree angle. I like that off angle because then when you actually set it over on edge, it grips completely different. Ezekiel Chetnik, ever think of stashing a new board in a time capsule for 20 years? That's like stashing semen in a girl and never talking to her again, and in 20 years you have a child. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. Eric Olmec, considering the K2 Alchemist or Excavator, 220-pound rider who likes groomers, glades, and going fast plus fist-fighting midget leprechauns. How to decide between the 158.59 or the 62.64 when they're both rated for my weight. So they're two completely different boards. There's overlap in the two. If you're riding more POW, trees, stuff like that, that's when you go with the Excavator. If you want to rip hard, aggressive carves, you're pushing through the tail of that board, you're really driving hard, you're doing everything you possibly can, you're popping off everything, that's where the Alchemist comes in. The big thing is ask yourself where you're riding. If it's more wide open terrain, you want to go with the bigger size. If it's more like mellower terrain, trees, stuff like that, you go with the smaller size. All right, let's see. Sorry, trying to catch up on everyone here. Slim kind of caught me off guard. Been a while since he actually called in. Mr. Sharter, Excavator or Stale Fish as a POW board in Colorado? Yes, both. Either or. Take your pick. They both have their pros and cons. Chibongo, got a friend who wants to buy a snowboard. She's 110 pounds but has size 4 boots. Should she get a board in weight range or just something her feet can get the board on edge? Beginner, intermediate, ride piece. So here's the cool thing. She's small enough to ride like a 138. And if you go look at a lot of companies, that is pretty much where their women's stuff starts on their beginner sizes. So putting her on a 138, she'll be totally fine, even with that size 4. Now, if she suddenly develops like 50 pounds of weight on her, we might have a problem. But at 110 pounds, you can slap her on just about anything in that 138 to 140 range. She'll be fine. Braga, do boards with carbon stay snappier longer than non-carbon boards? Oh, yeah. 100%. 100%. Yes. Okay. Ooh, Eric Chen with the super chat. Best way to hide the new snowboard from the wife? Simple. Put it with all your tools that she never uses. That's what I would do. I don't know. If you got a stack of snowboards, just take it out of the plastic and shove it in there. Just don't say anything for a while. I don't have these problems. Although, according to like Google algorithms and stuff and what it recommends me on Instagram and whatnot, I guess I'm supposed to go on the singles dating app for people with children. I keep getting that thing recommended to me. I'm already banned from Tinder. Bumble's going to be next. Hinge doesn't like me. I don't know why. I'm not the guy to ask about marital spousal advice. I have a dog. That's it. What do we got? Oh, where's that bouncing to? Ooh, pick a random question and give it a spin. Let's see. Okay, we'll go with Mikey P here. Jones skate tech looks cool, but seems to be a glaring engineering fault since the bushings move up and down with weight transfer. Doesn't the gap between bindings board fill with snow prevent this? No. First off, it's snow. It'll compress from the weight that you're putting in there. But when you're rocking back and forth, you're driving more power and you're putting it right down in there. That snow, unless you are riding some of the wettest snow on earth that's instantly freezing, it's not going to get stuck in there. You're also talking about something that moves maybe about that thickness. Like, that's literally it, but it does change the power dynamic. I mean, when you look at that, that's really not that thick. So, yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Skate Tech is legit. Oh, God. Wait, where are we going? Oh, yep. Well, we'll pick another question here. Get a Minas Maxekis. Hey, Angry Snowboarder, which board is the best for intermediate rider for progression in the park? Capita, Outer Space Living, Lib Tech Box Night, or maybe Evil Twin, Evil Twin. You don't need an Evil Twin Plus. I'll tell you that right now. Out of those three, the two that stick out the best for me to recommend for an intermediate for progression are the box knife and then the Evil Twin. But I'd probably push you more towards the box knife. I just think that's a better board all the way around for like learning and progressing on. 3BT can be weird when you're trying to learn how to set your edge. Well, you won yourself a medium sticker pack, sir. All you got to do is email me info@angrysnowboarder and info@angrysnowboarder.com, and I'll get that in the mail to you. So, yeah. All right. Okay. I know I skipped a few super chats, so let's get back up there. Okay. Adam Rossiter, spin for the new Dustbox trailer. I need to watch that still. I'm fucking lazy today. Yeah. Wait, where are we going? Where are we going? Spin again. Donate to the Shred Foundation. Donate to the Shred Foundation. That's a good one. All right, we got one here from Letters. 5'7", 200 pounds, 10.5 boot. Live in Idaho and worship beavers. Scored a ridiculous deal on a 2020 XV 152 sashimi. Too small for me. Also, what bindings? I've got a pair of missions I could slap on there. The missions will work with it. That 52 sashimi, I mean, it's doable. You're in like that weird cusp where it goes like heavy to light snow. So on a heavy day, it might not float as well, but a light powder day, you'd probably be fine. So, yeah. All right. Okay, stuff I find interesting with the super chat. Can we cancel Bunkhouse? I mean, if you guys just keep reporting him as trash and thumbs downing and don't comment and do anything, he'll disappear. When his YouTube shorts pop up, I troll him. Also wishing Will X speedy recovery. Yeah, well, Casey needs to understand he makes enough money to afford fucking health insurance. If I can pay $200 a month for it, so can he. You lose. Ouch. Okay. All right, let's see. Tanky, how many snowboards can I own before it's considered a problem? I mean, it's only a problem if someone else complains. If you never complain about it, it's not a problem. That's just logic right there. I mean, I've got, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 15, 16, 17, 18, 21. I got 22 snowboards in this room alone. Oh, wait, 23. There's another one on the wall I didn't count. You're good. That's just this room. My laundry room's got like another 30 in them, and then the living room's probably got like 40, and the bedroom's got like 7, and the spare bathroom has a whole shower full of board boxes. Some of them still full of boards. Ugh. All right, we got one here from the M Beats. Hey, question. I'm able to get pro deals on about any brand out there. I teach snowboarding, but my 2004 Burton Hussey is near the end of life because I teach. It's almost all man-made groomed runs. You teach snowboarding on a board that's almost 20 fucking years old? That just doesn't even seem logical. Go buy something new, anything. This shit's old enough to drive and vote and fight in a war. It could be drafted. Your snowboard could literally be conscripted. What the fuck you riding shit that old for? All right, let's see. Okay, let's see. No, I skipped a few. JNack17, are any of the ladies' Marhar boards good for all mountain free ride? Yeah, I just can't think of the names of them right now. Like, it's just there, but well, there's the Lumberjill. You can ride that as one, but you could even get away with throwing yourself on a Sasquatch if you really wanted to. No, not the Sasquatch. Woodsman on there. But yeah, there's one, and I just can't think of what the name of it is. Okay, Oxide Burn Brain. Avran, do you believe that so many models that every brand makes kind of confuses the people? Beefier models included, of course. Fuck yeah. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. My whole day is just pretty much telling people, no, you don't need this. Just buy this one. You'll be fine. No, you've snowboarded 10 days. You do not need to buy a super DOA. No, you've snowboarded 25 days in your life. You do not need an Apex Orca. This is literally my day today job, is just literally telling people, I don't care what you fucking watched on YouTube that didn't come from me and they make you think you need it. You don't need it. So here's the problem. I do think that brands make too many models. And the problem is they make so much overlap because they're trying to hit like every $20 to $40 price point. And I'm like, look, you need an all mountain freestyle board, an all mountain free ride board, an all around cambered park board, a jib board, a powder board, a volume shifted board, and like 2 or 3 for the women. That's it. You go look at the Nitro line of boards, and it's like 750,000 different boards with graphics, and you're like, what the fuck is this? Then you sit there and you're like, okay. And then you go over to Burt and you're like, oh, dear God. Then you get on to Never Summer, because beginners always seem to get on Never Summer, and there's 75 different boards named Proto Fuck Me Up the Asses. And you're just like, what the fuck is this shit? And it just doesn't make sense. Like, literally, my favorite thing was the interior plane project. 3 friggin' snowboards. That's it. Aggressive cambered board, mellow flexing cambered board, mid-wide cambered board. And then they were like, well, we might add a women's board and a pow board. 5 models. And I was like, that's genius. Genius. You're not giving people analysis paralysis. They're like, I'm this type of rider. This is the board I get. That's it. Now it's like we got to have 75 different camber profiles for the same type of board. And you're like, why does this exist? Why? So, all right. Ryan Weddle with the super chat, giving back. I'm also digging the graphics on the Scott Stevens deck this year. A lot of people really are digging that zero skate graphic on there that Scotty did with Jamie Thomas and whatnot. So, well, where are we going? Ooh, spin again. Pray to the altar of snowboarding, everyone. Pray to the altar of snowboarding. All right. Mr. Carigis. Nitro Team or Ride Shadow Band. I already have a Nitro Squash and a Nitro Pow. Honestly, you can't go wrong with either of those boards. I prefer the Shadow Band. It's a little more damp of a ride underfoot. It kills that kinetic energy. Pushes through choppy terrain just a little bit better than the Nitro Team. The Nitro Team's just more lively. You feel it right underfoot. So there's that. All right, we got one here from Craig Cameron. I have 3 size 13 feet. How the fuck you got 3 feet? What, you tucking your dick into a boot? And I'm 185 pounds. Would I get away with the 152 dance hall, or should I consider sizing up? Shout out to dudes with big feet. I think 12 is about as big as you want to go on the 52 dance hall, if I remember correctly. I think you can get away with certain size 13s, but if you have a bulky size 13, like a 32, a deluxe, something like that, probably not going to work. But if you're sitting in like a Burton size 13, which would be like a 12, you can get away with it. So, yeah. All right. We got Sean Elliott. Where do you think the Solomon Assassin falls in terms of flexibility? I've heard everything from stiff to really soft. Coming from the Fun Slinger, wanted to try a slightly stiffer camber. So it's just past a middle of the road flex. It's a little on the stiffer side. Not much. So like if you think about the huck knife would be like your middle of the road flex. It's just a middle of the road flex. The assassin is a little stiffer through the inserts in the middle of that with almost a similar flex in the tips. Coming from a fun slinger, the bigger thing is that bullshit profile that you've been fucking riding. Anything's going to feel crazy stiff to you because you're so used to having this flex point, right in the middle from that reverse camber. And so with that flex point gone, you now lose that play from the reverse camber. Like you could bend your knees and the board would just go like this. So you're going to have with that assassin, it's going to be like that flat that comes down into the rocker. So you're going to have more load and pop in there. You're going to feel that pushing up and you're going to be like, this is super stiff. Just ride it out because that board at about 10 to 12 days really starts to break in and come into its own. It'll still be slightly past middle of the road, but it is not an overly stiff board. The Assassin Pro, stiffer than that and still not an overly stiff board. Ugh. ZN Solomon Huck. Oh, wait. I owe a spin here. My bad. Spin again. Ooh, try again. All right. So we got ZN. Solomon Huck knife stable enough for big jumps, or should I get the Pro Greetings from Switzerland? No. So they revamped the Huck knife and gave it the carbon array from the Assassin this year, which makes it stiffer and more snappy. That board's great for big jumps. Like it's got a ton of pop in it. The only reason to go to the Pro is if you really need more carbon, like, and you're just breaking boards. If you're one of those guys that's repeatedly breaking boards, then you might want to go up to the Pro just because it's going to be a little more responsive, stiffer in there. But by and large, you should be fine with that regular Huck knife. Milo, other than rotational bindings, what's the worst piece of snowboarding tech? Clue bindings are bullshit. Burton step-ons are bullshit. Let's see. That white space extension strap or whatever that is, or whatever the fuck they call it. I can't even remember. That's bullshit. And there are those idiots that made the suspension snowboard bindings bullshit. The guys that made the powder foil to go on the nose of your snowboard so that the snow would funnel underneath the foil and bring it to the top. That's bullshit. Let's see what else in there. When DC did the pump liner, that was bullshit as well. Let's see. Dope Snow, Montec, that's bullshit. Cheap, shitty goggles, that's bullshit. The list goes on and on. There is a ton of bullshit. Gills and Snowboards is bullshit. Like all that fucking shit. Like I could just sit here and be like, this is bullshit, 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 bullshit. All right. So I know we got a lot more people just tuning in right now. If you're just getting in here, you got questions, get them in the chat box. Super chats, get a spin of the wheel. No big prizes yet today. Might change my mind. Day's still young. We'll see where we go with that. But, get the spins on that. If you're looking for a cool charity to donate your old outerwear, gently used, not completely trashed, Shred Foundation, I've actually got their address down in the description. If you mail it in, anything, make sure you put your name and your email address between now and December 10th. For everyone that sends stuff to them, you'll be entered in a raffle to win an Angry Snowboarder merchandise pack valued at $100. We're giving away 3 of those for 3 lucky people that donate. So, yeah. Okay. Myron Medor, Manifest Team from K2, LibTech TRS, or Captain Mercury for a single do-it-all board for popping everything in trees with the occasional park jump. Also, is there any noticeable difference in the Mercury in a 57 to 59? Yeah, your effective edge is going to be different and that's going to be the issue with the Mercury. When they changed the effective edge, when they did the Arthur Longo version, they added 4 more millimeters to the effective edge, and it made the board more catchy. So out of those 3 that you have listed, though, my personal favorite would be the Manifest Team. But if you want serious snap, the TRS, that's got some pop to it. So, yeah. Okay. Shane Schmaltz, have you ever boarded outside of the USA? If yes, any recommendations? I went to Whistler Blackcomb once. They got like 8 feet of snow. It was really cool. Was there for the Tellus Ski and Snowboard Festival. I got really drunk and threw up on a girl in the Merlin's bathroom. Like, I thought I was going to puke, and I ran into what I thought was the dude's bathroom, and there was a chick, and there was a stall, and I projectile vomited on her. But whatever. I mean, shit happens. That's about the only place I've ever ridden outside the U.S. Ooh, yeah, get yourself a wiener. Journey Boss, public disorder or dispute for a better partner. Oh, God. That's like splitting hairs. They're both very solid boards. Like, you can't go wrong with either of them, in all honesty. I mean, fuck. Like, they're really good. Like, the public stuff is really, really, really good. Kind of just ask yourself what you want performance-wise and go look at the core additives between the two, because they do ride different. Like, and that's really where it is. But, man, they're super good. Okay. Let's see. What do we got here? Okay. All right. Letters with the super chat. Spin for the win. Let's see if we can get this man some stickers. Spin again. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Ooh, donate to the Shred Foundation. Donate to the Shred Foundation. Felt bad for my post office today. I think I dropped off something like 225 envelopes full of stickers to mail out. Poor guys. He just like hands me the tub, and I'm like just taking him out of this bag. And he's like, "Are you done?" And finally, I'm just like shaking the bag. It's ridiculous. Okay. We got Tyler, who's 6'2", 165 pounds, with size 10 boots. And he has both of his hands still. That's very good. It's good that you have both your hands. What size party platter should I go with? 148 at 65 pounds. You could go down. What's the next size? 44. You could even get away with the 44, realistically. If you want to go full party board, I think it's 44. Go down to the 44. If you want a little more versatility, go with the 48. Mr. Charles, have you ridden, and is the 2023 Mercury softer than the 2019? It will be softer than the 2019. I know that. They changed the profiling in that core. The 2019 was a little stiffer. I haven't ridden the 2023. They didn't have one for me to ride. Okay, Officer McNasty. Hey, Angry, thanks for the backstory on Slimothy Whitman. What would be some of the best dampening bindings? I got the Union Atlas last year, but not living up to my expectations. Oh, the Atlas is not a damp binding at all. Okay, so if you really want, in my opinion, like the best dampening bindings right now are the Battalion bindings. They're utilizing the Rome chassis, so the base plate and the shell, but their foot pad is extra thick. So it's a dual density foot pad, so it gives you more dampening. So seeing as you're on an Atlas, you'd probably be looking at the Atom. So the Atom will be about as stiff as that Atlas, but it'll have more dampening. Otherwise, you might like the Nitro bindings as well. They have that air pad in the heel, so that really does dampen underfoot and through the back of the binding right on your heel. In there, you'd probably, being on an Atlas, you might like the Phantom, but I would also say check out the Team or the Team Pro. Not much difference between the Team and the Team Pro. It's really the straps in there. Those are very, very damp bindings. Otherwise, I've been enjoying also the bent metal transfers or the Core Pros. It kind of comes down to what flex you want. The transfer will be a little softer than your Atlas, but the Core Pro will be a little stiffer. But the cool thing with the bent metals is you can pull the foot pad that they have, and you can swap them out with different ones. So like they're interchangeable across their whole line, and they do sell the extra ones. So that should give you like 3 options right there. Tibby TT, what's happening with dinosaurs will die? Not seeing them stock that much. So they were the last ones when they switched factories for manufacturing, and they got stuck out to sea with the shipping. So they sat, I'm pretty sure they probably sat off the port of Long Beach because their distribution is out of Idaho. That would be my guess. So their stuff didn't ship till almost March last year. Supposedly things are better for them this year, and they should start shipping. Last time I talked to Gino, he said that they were expecting to have stuff late October. So I figure we got about another week before they'll show up. Okay. This man right here, Bert Bundy, with the super chat, is father of the year in my eyes. Caught my 11-year-old son watching a bunkhouse video. Can you recommend a good punishment? I feel like putting him up for adoption isn't good enough. No, because if you put him up for adoption, someone will adopt him and feel bad for him and let him watch all the bunkhouse videos, and he'll grow to resent snowboarders, and he'll become a person that snowboards, and he'll support bunkhouse. And the more kids that support bunkhouse means the longer that he'll be out there con jobbing people. Seriously, that dude is the Jake Paul of fucking snowboarding, except fat and out of shape and not trying to box and get brain damage. No, a better, I wouldn't call it a punishment, but I think that he has to watch the whiskey movies, which they're on YouTube. If you search Whiskey 1 and 2, he should have to watch those. He should also have to watch every microdose episode of Absinthe Films on YouTube, educate himself in the history of snowboarding and why it's important, and go from there. I think that's what he really needs to do. Say 25 Hail Slims, and he has to donate his old shred gear to the Shred Foundation. You're going to make him work to pay for the shipping to donate it to the Shred Foundation. That way we can teach him to be a charitable boarder at an early age as well. Support the Shred Foundation, people. Support the Shred Foundation. Oh, we're bouncing. We're bouncing. Where are we going? Where are we going? Ooh, you lose. We're still going to support the Shred Foundation. Piers Roberts, you wear pants or bibs? I'm a pants guy through and through. Level of waterproofing you use 15K, 20K Gore-Tex? 8K. I live in Colorado, dude. It's fucking dry as shit. I use like 8 to 10K. It only gets wet late spring and only midday. So if you go early in the morning when the snow's still light and you're out by noon, you're not going to get wet. Like, I ride L1 outerwear. I don't need any of their Theorem line stuff. I just ride like 8 and 10K pant because it's literally so dry in Colorado. Ugh. All right. Or in the spinner sounds funky today. Yeah, there's like a loose washer or something, or I broke a ball bearing. I don't know. I got to take this thing apart and figure it out. I think she's due for her 10,000 spin checkup. I don't know. Got to squirt some WD-40 into her. Oh yeah. Ollie, slow signs. Always Ollie over slow signs. Okay, we got Manfish Taco. What do you think of Shaun White's new brands and boards? So that dude is just catering to the fucking uber rich. So his white space boards are Kempers. Wait, they're distributing them through Kemper. They're actually GP87. So they're coming out of a legit factory, but haven't ridden them. Probably never will. Don't really give a fuck. I mean, you'll probably see them for sale at Nordstrom Rack at some point. Remember, Shaun White isn't a snowboarder. He's a person that snowboards. He's going to make money as a person that snowboards off snowboarding, but he never gives anything back. So, okay. Dylan Cerruti, Captain Mercury versus the Rome National for a daily. I'd choose the National personally. I like the way those rods rebound and snap. I also think the side cut's a little bit better in the National. All right. Christopher Williams, what's your beef with the Super DOA? Nothing. There's literally nothing wrong with the Super DOA, but if you've snowboarded 10 times in your life and someone's like, I need a Super DOA, it's like, no, you fucking don't. You need a Capita Pathfinder, motherfucker. Maybe an Outer Space Living. You don't need a Super DOA. You don't fucking get a Ferrari for your first car. You get a fucking 93 Toyota Tercel shitbox. And I'm not even saying that those Capita boards are shitboxes. They're actually probably better than a shitbox. Theodore Petrovich, why exactly you don't like Never Summer? Just being curious. I've never rode any of them. I see many experienced riders talking about Never Summer boards are BS, but I wonder why. 5 layers of fiberglass. That's old fiberglass, utilizing almost 2 gallons of epoxy. So it's a wet, dead ride that breaks in for a serious rider at about 15 to 25 days. Then your little bullshit camber profile goes flat, reverse, camber in the nose. It always decambers. Their board's super decambered. Their side cut is in the wrong spot to match up with their reverse into camber profile. So it makes a hook point right inside of it. They upcharge for a rental board top sheet. Their bases are shit, straight shit. They're like the lowest grade quality crown plastics I've ever seen. Like, unless you get a black base from them or white, any of their colored bases will rip. They rip. Like, you hit a rock, they rip. They don't just core shot, they rip. They're fucking awful. They always look like they're dehydrated, which is sad. Like, as someone that doesn't wax, I feel like I'd have to wax a Never Summer board just to cover up the fact that it always looks like it has base burn. Their finishes are shit. They have a monster ass die cut. So when you do hit a rock and it pulls that seam, it pulls in every fucking direction. They're just shit. Like, their construction methods are from 25 years ago. The owner's brother, Tim Canaday, is not a design engineer. He's just a fucking idiot that figures out shit to make it work. Like, a lot of his geometries and shit just don't make sense. You ride them, and if you know what you're doing, you're like that. That's it. On top of the fact they slapped the Colorado Confederate flag all over the base of their shit, dude. If that brand was a human, it would be the worst QAnon Trump supporter on earth. That's the one way to describe it. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyways. Okay. EV, thinking about picking up a Nerd Relic or an Amplit ticket. Thinking directional ticket, but maybe the Twin. How do you compare binding recommendations? So, even just comparing the ticket to the Relic, they're 2 different boards. Like, the Relic is super soft compared to the ticket. And right now it only comes in one size. There's actually a bigger size coming for bigger dudes. But so it's a party board through and through. It's that volume shifted. The ticket Twin are not. I did not ride the ticket Twin, but judging how the ticket rides and all the other Amplit rides, that's going to be a stiffer Twin, realistically, for the price that you pay in there. The ticket is a lot of bang for the buck for what you get in there. It's basically a trickle-down Paradigma, which they discontinued, or a trickle-down Singular. It's super, super solid board. Okay, I never rode that. All right, we got a super chat from Anthony Hocking. Was looking for a board for the missus. Seemed odd that Burton doesn't have a Zoe Pro board. Not sure how many more marketable women's stars they have. Go look at Burton and ask if they really have any pro models besides Danny Davis. Pro models don't sell. They don't, especially if you're Burton, because it's like, I bought a Burton. I'm going snowboarding. Take photo. I dropped my tail map. Oh my God. Oh no, my white pants are dirty. It looks like I have poop on my butt. Those are the people that buy Burtons. Like, that's literally it. So I'm not surprised at all. On top of the fact, like, Burton is just doing some wonky ass shit with their marketing right now, where I just sit there and I'm just like, are you really fucking doing this? Like, do you make yoga pants or do you make fucking snowboards? Like, it's an honest question. There's so many good women's boards, and going into that, I'm starting to get all my women's top 5s lined up. I want to drop them on Sundays, but I always thought it was funny. Last year, I got the greatest comment ever from this dude. I think his name was Dustin something or other. And he's like, why does a man think he can recommend women's snowboards? And I was like, why does a woman doctor think she can tell me about my prostate? Probably because she has the experience with prostates, just like I have the experience with snowboards. So, anyways, yeah, so I'm doing something a little different for women's boards, but I want to get that stuff. I got 2 lists done, written. I got to film them. The goal is to film tomorrow, but then every Sunday I'll be hopefully this Sunday I'll have the first one done. I want to do top 5, so that'll start with all mountain freestyle, then it'll be all mountain free ride, beginner, bang for the buck, park, jib, party board, carving board. Like I want to have stuff for the ladies too. So, and I don't want it to interact with the Wednesday's top 5s. I think doing it a separate day gives it its own traction. So we're working towards that. And whatever you do, don't lick yellow snow. It's not lemonade. S2000 guy might pull the trigger on Zermatt, Switzerland this year. So pumped. Ever been or know anyone that has? Fuck no, man. I haven't left this continent. I'm scared of planes. Okay. We got Narventure. K2 Alchemist versus the Amplid Singular. Riding steep lines and mostly powder. Ooh, those are 2 really good boards that compare to each other so well. So they both have a ton of tech. I do think the pop is a little easier to engage on the Alchemist, and it's just a little, like, we're splitting hairs here, just a little bit snappier. On edge, I gotta give it to the Singular. I think it's got a better side cut to it, and it just turns better. When you're plowing through choppier terrain, it's about equal on there. I'd kind of go a little more towards the Alchemist over the Singular, but that Singular is just so good as well. Dampness underfoot, I think the Amplid just edges out the Alchemist. I mean, man, you're splitting. Yeah. So, anyways, that's where I'm at with those 2 boards. I don't think you can go wrong with either of them. All right. We got a super chat from, God, I'm going to mispronounce your name. Get a Minas Maxecus. How about the Rome Agent for an intermediate progression? It'll work, but I think you'd be better off going with a Warden or a Gangplank from Rome. I think those 2 would just be a hair better for that. That's just my personal opinion. And the reason for that is just the flex patterns on it, the side cuts, and whatnot. Ouch, you lose. Let's see. Okay. Trying to catch up on everything here. I'm about 10 minutes behind you guys on questions. Shane Schmaltz, thanks for shouting out the Unstrapped Snowboard show in one of your previous streams. It's been cool to see the old clips and the stuff they showed. New episode of that actually dropped yesterday. So Andrew Brewer and Jim Dunnigan's show, swing over, give them a subscribe. They got 3 episodes up. They drop it once a week. It's good stuff, about 50 minutes long. So if you're looking for something to listen to. So, yeah. All right. Jason Robertson, do you have a favorite Montana resort? No. Angel Garcia, hey man, I have a buddy wanting to upgrade from his Rome mechanic. Oh, what do you suggest? I mean, there's a lot. Like, I'm not a fan of the mechanic. That board is ass. Like, it's like good for my first snowboard, but if you're looking to upgrade, if you want something with a similar camber profile, that's when you go to the Rome Gangplank. Otherwise, I think like bumping up to something with a little bit of camber in it, so that would be like your Rome Warden. Maybe you go to the K2 Ray Gun Pop. Like a Ride Zero would be good as well. Even a ride agenda would be an incremental upgrade over that mechanic. So there's a few options. Okay. We got Kevin with the super chat. Spin for a good long season. Oh, I think we're getting one this season. I really do. Ooh, spin again. What do we got? Oof, you lose. Okay. Lenny, Capita DOA good for buttering. Yeah, it's well, if you know how to butter, it's not bad. So the way that camber profile works, right out before the up kick and the tip and the tail, you've got this spot that locks into presses. And that's where you want to leverage your weight out on the outside of your binding and push into. It's going to give you a little bit of fight and want to snap out of it. But if you know how to butter, or at least just do the basics, like you can lean back and get on your tail, you can lean forward on your nose. You got to practice popping onto your tail, popping into your nose, pushing, getting sideways and stuff. Yeah, you can do it. It's a well-balanced freestyle board. Okay, we got W. Sar. Thoughts on fixed bindings as a brand? I like Fix as a brand. I like the idea of their modular binding and like how the parts are, so you can just interchange them. If something breaks, it's very modular and stuff. I haven't been on some of the new stuff because they actually minimized their footprint, because they used to, like, I wrote them, I think the first or second year they came out, and they had this really wide footprint, and they've made it narrower and narrower so there isn't as big of a dead spot that it causes. Basically, the way to look at them is they're the Canadian Union, and they just haven't gained as much traction as Union has. But I remember when Union started, and so you're going to see them gaining more traction. Jason Braz, the owner, great dude, does a lot for snowboarding and has a long history in snowboarding. I really like the way he does things. I like those bindings. I actually got to reach back out to him and be like, hey, we should probably try, because people keep asking. So to get some stuff. All right. Hey, Adele, do you recommend detuning edges for learning how to ride rails? Personally, I don't detune. I'll just fucking go hit it. I'll rip a board right out of the wrapper and just go rip it right onto a rail if I have to. Why? Because I want to know if that sucker's going to hook up or not. Although I'm getting old and that kind of hurts. So detuning is kind of a personal preference thing. But if you are going to detune, make sure you go a couple inches past the contact point. And if you're going to make it your full rail board, just don't try to roll the whole edge so it's super round, but you want it just enough that it isn't super sharp to the touch on there. It is a personal preference thing. Like my party mod, I never detuned it, even after I core shot it and had to go get it filled and stone ground and put structure in it. I still, and redo the edges, I still didn't detune the edges on it. My Rankwit that I rode all last year for binding testing, that thing basically detuned itself all season, and near the end of the season the edges were just completely round. So like I said, it's kind of a personal preference thing there. What do we got for you? Ouch, you lose. Garth Pierce, hey Avran, have you come across the Red Bull Spect Magnetron goggles? Cheers from the UK. Red Bull usually licenses out their logo to companies. So they've done stuff with Dragon in the past and Oakley, I think. So it's probably some main brand binding. I just don't know whose it is. John Davison, you say in a lot of your videos that people need to ride more camber. Why traditional camber over other camber? Because they're fucking lazy. Because they got these soggy ass fucking presses. Their fucking edge control looks sloppy as shit. They're riding around all stiff leg on the front, back knee super bent, board fucking bent at the middle. Look at me, I'm doing a fucking wheelie. Woo! I can fucking wheelie. Yeah, cool, dude. Now pop an ollie. Oh, that's right. That board has no snap to it at all because you don't know how to load it. You're basically just jumping straight in the air because you don't know how to load that camber. And when you get on edge, your carves look soggy as shit. You're always wondering why your tail washes out because you got fucking 2 camber zones or whatever. You don't understand how to finesse it. Like, camber makes you a better rider. It does. It's like being a driver and driving a standard transmission. I get it. There's like, what, 10 cars in the world now that are in production that maybe make a standard transmission. Everything's Geartronic, Triptonic, stuff like that. Yeah, that's great and all. But if you learn how to drive a stick, you would develop a fundamental set of skills that you can carry over to every other thing. The same can be said about snowboard. If you grew up on traditional camber, going to other profiles, if you spend enough time on it, you understand the nuances. All these people that are riding this catch-free bullshit that have never hooked an edge, they have sloppy ass fucking riding styles. Like, you look at it and you're like, this is the soggiest style I've ever seen. Like, they have no control. They don't understand how to correct a micro movement. They don't understand proper ankle flexion. They're just so used to the shit, correcting all their bad habits and compensating for it so they can do it. That's cool. I mean, if you want a self-driving car, fuck yeah, go for it. That's what it is. That's what a lot of the shit is. Like, we needed to get away from reverse camber to get back to traditional, or we needed to get away from camber. So we went to reverse camber. Now we need to get away from that to bring us back because we've started to perfect traditional camber and we've perfected it. I'm not saying that one profile is better than the other, but what I'm saying is if every person would spend one season, more than 10 days, riding traditional camber, like if you get a solid 25, 30 days riding traditional camber for at least 4 hours a day, you will develop a better understanding of how to ride a snowboard, how to load it, how it catches, why it catches, how flex points work, how you can engage and disengage the side cut, and it would make you a stronger rider. So, yes, there you go. David Dixon, ride a Burton CK Nug looking at the Ride Peace Seeker. Would there be too much overlap? No, they're completely different boards. Oh my God, you are on opposite ends of the spectrum there, sir. You want to go rip deep, hard trenches? That fucking Peace Seeker will shit all over your Craig Kelly Nug. Completely. It is a completely different board. All right, Christopher Williams, what's your thoughts on the Union Felcore? I mean, it's designed to be like a lightweight mini disc binding that's a little stiffer. I think I've only ridden it once, and it was like, wasn't how many years ago? When was the last time I rode that? God, yeah, I think it's been like 3 or 4 years since the last time I rode it, so I need to update that. But do I think it's a bad binding? No. Do I think it's the binding for me? No, it definitely isn't. I think it has its place with people in there. I think for me, just how small that mini disc is would leave me with a little bit more to be desired. All right. Let's see. We're trying to catch up on stuff. I am back in the let's see. Sorry. Got a spam bot. Got to go put them in timeout. Okay, we got Chibongo with the super chat thanking you kindly. That's what I'm here for. I am just a monkey on a stage. Oof, you lose. Okay. Travis Hoffarth, what's your leg workout to get ready for boarding? So, okay. First off, Travis used to be my intern many, many, many moons ago. I think, just so everyone knows, when he was 11 years old, I found him in the back of a van at Woodward at Copper, kind of adopted him. But anyways, okay, Trav, you want that leg workout? All right, we'll give you that leg workout. First off, you're going to walk backwards on the treadmill, making sure that you lift your feet. You're going to do that for at least 100 paces, if not more, right before you get into the gym. Then you're going to go hop on the exercise bike, crank out a mile or two. That should get everything nice and loosened up. After that, you're going to go down, throw about 2 45-pound weights on the squat machine, put the elevated step in there, step on the edge of it so you can lower your heels and do heel raises on that. After that, you're going to go over and hit the elevated leg bench, and you're going to do that. 50 pounds ought to be enough for your stubby little legs. although they're really short, so maybe 25 would be better. Then you're going to go do some inverted calf raises as well, and do that. Then you're going to go hit the you're going to go grab a 45-pound weight, hold it, and just do squats, holding that as well. And when you get down into the squat position, you're going to hold that for a 3 count back up. Shout out to our boy Travis. Just so everyone knows, he is the Jones sub rep for Colorado. He's a great dude. I love that man so much, and I am so happy to see who he became from being a kid to where he's at now and what he's doing in snowboard. I look forward to seeing what he's doing. So yeah. Okay. Dead Stalin. Does Salt Lake City count as a shred town? I mean, it depends who you ask. To me, it's a city with a bunch of mountains next to it. I like shred towns. I don't like cities. Salt Lake's dirty. Ugh. Timothy C. Speaking of a women's board, is the Solomon Lotus a decent board? Thanks. The Lotus is like it's an entry level. I think it's not. I think there's one that's below it, and then it's the Lotus, which I think the Lotus is the equivalent of the Sight, if I remember correctly. I mean, Solomon makes some solid stuff. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We got Tan. How does the Ride Berserker 1920 compare to the 2022 version? It was slightly stiffer. That was the difference. They changed the flex between those two. C Story 333. What's your best advice for handling the meth heads? God help me. Wife is planning the family trip and choosing Winter Park. Well, it's pretty simple. If you stay at the resort, you won't really have to deal with them. Now, if you venture downtown Winter Park, if you get off the main strip, there are meth heads. If you stay in the core of town, you will probably be safe. They also only really tend to come out at night. Well, no, they're actually out all the time because they're on meth. You just see them more at night. But yeah. All right. So yeah. When in doubt, just keep little bags of coarse ground salt and just throw it. They'll think it's meth and just be like, free meth, and throw it. And then run the other direction. You'll be fine. All right. Jarvis, is the K2 Manifest team nimble enough for tight hardpack trees? Yes. Okay. Black Market Honey. Hey, Avran, do you know anything about the new Atlantis boards? I couldn't get anything out of their people. They couldn't even tell me if the bases were sintered or extruded. It's a fucking cash grab. That's how I feel about it. It's a fucking cash grab. That's all it is. It's a trademark troll that bought a dead trademark or reapplied for it, and that's all it is. It's too easy to start a snowboard company. It's too easy to just slap a retro graphic on something and call it new. I'm honestly not worried about it. Alpine Ibex. Thoughts on quality snowboarding socks, favorite brand? Smartwool. I love Smartwool. Colorado company. Shit solid. They always seem to last. Like, I literally killed my last pair of Smartwools from when I first moved in Colorado 17 years ago. This past season, I killed them in the spring. That's how long they lasted. So, okay. Puffin Boy, are Solomon holograms good for someone who's had more experience skateboarding and cruising on a longboard? I've only ridden rental equipment. This is my first season owning my own gear. So coming from a skate background, you're used to being able to set up your ankles. You're going to get a little bit of micro movement in the heel cup of those holograms from the Shadow Fit. You're fine. Just go ride, dude. Just don't overthink it. It's your first real setup. Anything's a step up from the Reynolds. It doesn't matter what any of us say to you. Just go fucking have fun, man. You'll figure it out after the season. All right. We got Cosmetronic Haze. Hey, Angry. I'm looking for a free ride board to ride a crusty butt in the extremes in all conditions. I'm 130 pounds, 5'8", confident rider. Have 6 fingers on my left hand. Was thinking a 150 Ultra Mind Expander. Yeah, the 150 Ultra Mind Expander would definitely be one. I would almost say that you might also like a Stormwolf as well from Jones. I think they still make the 150 size for the XV. They changed the XV this year, but the XV is like from Rosenal is one of those boards that would definitely fit down there. The other thing that I would possibly consider for you would be maybe like a ride commissioner. It's a bit of a beast of a board though with that aluminum top sheet, and I can't remember if they make a size small enough for you, but that would be another one that I would consider. Okay, we got super chat from My Knees Are Cheese with the words test. Somebody's learning how to super chat. Where are we going? It's going to bounce. Oof, you lose. DWD boards. Have you ever heard of the YouTube page Search of Snowboarding? And he seems like a kook. What are your thoughts? Did I find that one? I don't know. There's so many kooky people out there that like I see it and I'm like, and I'll be like, do not ever recommend again. Block. Yeah, no, I don't. Brendan Walsh, what's the difference between a party board and a freestyle board? I don't know, about like this much width at the center. Party boards are short and fat. Freestyle boards aren't. Okay. Anthony Hawking, spin for wiener, pocket bacon, and feet. God, I could go for some pocket bacon right now. You lose. Johnny Scott, any chance of you putting out an edit? I kind of want to do like a 40 for 40, but I don't know if it's going to be 40 different boards doing the same trick or 40 different tricks on 40 different boards, because I'm turning 40 this year. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do something. I don't really care. I'm 40. Like, I can't hit a jump over 15 feet anymore because my knees are gone. I fucking can't spin above a 360 on a good day anymore because I get too dizzy from all the head injuries. Like, I have nothing to prove freestyle wise. I don't give a fuck anymore. I am a really shitty freestyle rider these days. I was super stoked that I made it through like a 20-foot DFD last year. I was like, holy fuck, I still got it. But yeah, will I do anything? I don't know. We'll see. I don't really care. Bigger thing is I'm trying to block out ride meetups and ride dates. I want to get my local reps involved. I might get one or two local shops involved where they would host and we'd meet up at like either Copper, A Basin, Steamboat, maybe even Winter Park. I don't know. Although I really fucking hate Winter Park, so probably not. I'd rather go to Aspen. But the goal is to have these like meetups. You guys get to demo some stuff. I fucking go ride with everyone. We go out, we have fun, cook some hot dogs, probably get some Schaller and Weber in there. See if they'll sponsor this. Got to get those Schaller and Weber meats. And yeah, so that's what we got going on. Jesus, I think loosen up already. Did spin again. And remember to pray to the altar of snowboarding. Okay. That is either Lone or Ion. Nadenov. I'd like to believe it's Lone, because that's just funny. Lone Nadenov. What are good camber all mountain snowboards for people who have only used rocker hybrids? Focus on carving side hits, 180s, 360s, dogs, cats, powder, no rails, or buttering. So you'd be like looking at your ride algorithm, your ride shadow band, maybe like a Karua Auto, a transition finder. Let's see what else. Like you're coming off of those hybrids with rockers in them. If maybe even going to like a Yes Standard on ink would be another good one. Jones Mountain Twin, even though it's cam rocker. Anything that's predominantly camber through the middle will really help you. Okay. Binding recommendations for the Capita outer space living all around. I'm around your age and looking for something relaxed. Okay, so you want something relaxed. That's if you do the Capita Union thing, you go with the Strata. Personally, I would probably put like a Rome Vice on there and maybe like a Ride C6. So there's 3 options right there for you. Okay, letters. Starting to get cold here. Bring on the snow. They're making snow at Keystone, A Basin, Loveland, and Copper now here. So the race is on. I think we're going to be riding. Also, for anyone that's getting excited about the season, go put your fucking snowboard boots on before you go ride. I don't care if they're brand new. I don't care if they're used from last season. Put them on, leave them on for a couple hours, walk around, get your feet used to being in there, get them flexing, breaking back in or breaking them in for the first time. It's just good advice. Just get them out there, do all that stuff. So, okay. You lose. Ouch. We got Joseph Ramos with the super chat. Spin for La Nina. Bring on the snow. Triple dip. Triple dip. Subscribe or else. Okay. My knees are cheese. Will you join my curated team? It's basically Amway. We'll be rich. Oh my God. I love snowboarding MLMs. Let's get in on it. Me and Thriftboards are working on something. I fucking hate curated. Oh my God. Every time I get someone, I have to give advice to someone that got advice from someone from curated. I'm like, I feel like I'm just doing damage control. They're like, well, curated said, and I was like, yeah, well, curated huffs their own farts. Half those people wouldn't get hired at a Vail Resorts like a Breckenridge Sports to work in their rental shop. Like, oh my God. Curated. Fucking horrible. Oh. I swear to God, this thing's going to break today. Ooh, pick a random question and give them a spin. Okay, we got 0 mile ADV. Hey, Angry, move to the western slope, only 25 minutes from Powderhorn. Any feedback on that? I love Powderhorn. Powderhorn's fucking amazing. It is so small and just cute. It is adorable. And they've got this single chair that I swear to God, at one point, you're just going straight up in it, and you're only like 4 feet off the ground because it's so steep. When they get POW, that mountain is actually super, super fun just because of the way their aspens are and the fact that it's built into the side of a mesa. So it goes like super steep to super flat. And then there's that snake run that comes through the whole resort. But every bank turn, you can build a side hit to launch you out into the woods. Well, the woods are super cleared out. So on a POW day, you're just going to be able to bank turn and shoot yourself right off into the woods into powder. It's freaking amazing. Like, you can ride the whole mountain in about 2 hours. You'll hit every single trail. They actually used to, I don't know if they still do, but they used to have a guy that was building jumps for them. They had a triple jump line that was very reminiscent of the old Copper triple line before they built Central Park, which, and it like super wide, like 2 cat wide lips. And it was like 20, 25, 30 feet or something like that. Just super, super well set up. They're railed, janky as fuck, probably going to die. But overall, Powderhorn is a really cool little resort in Colorado that, thank God, hasn't blown out. And it's off the beaten path because, I mean, it's literally the only thing around Grand Junction. But yeah, it's a fun little mountain. I've had good times when I've been there. So, and you won yourself a small sticker pack there, sir. So all you got to do is email me info@angrysnowboarder.com and I'll get that in the mail probably Saturday. Ooh, let's see. Okay. I am way behind on you guys. I'm like 15 minutes behind on questions. Jarvis, where's a good place in Utah to try on boots? If you're in Utah, go down to Milo Sport. Can't go wrong with that. The Burton store in Park City, if you're going to try on some Burton stuff. Let's see. Borda Provo is really good. There's a couple Christie Sports locations, so they'll have a decent selection as well. Kind of just got to look around and see who's out there. So, yeah. Okay. Yaki T, got a great deal on a Rome Warden. Good board to start park with, or should I step up to like an agent? No, fucking go ride that thing. Dude, I owned a Warden. I love that board. It's basically a downgraded freaker. That board is just, it's criminally underrated. Like, I mean, there's a reason that it was number 3 in my top 5 best bang for the buck. Was it 3? No, it was 2. It's number 2, wasn't it? It was either 2 or 3 in the best bang for the buck top 5. Okay. Bubble Skunker, custom molded Citus insoles versus Remind. So here's the big thing, like when you're doing a custom molded footbed, if you were doing it at home in your oven, you're probably going to fuck it up. I'm going to be honest with you. You're just not going to get a good fit. Now, if you're paying someone at a shop to do it and they have made hundreds of those, you are going to get a better fit, especially if they're like, hey, I got to go in the back and do some grinding. Like if they go in the back and you hear a belt sander going and they come out covered in dust, chances are you're getting a better footbed than something that you just pulled stock out. Like, I love Reminds. They're the best ones that have worked for my foot. But every now and then, I got to go do a little work to them. But, you know, that's the whole thing with a custom footbed. So I'm hoping I'm supposed to get a meeting with the people at Christie Sports. I'm hoping that they're going to be open to letting me go into their boot lab and make a video on how to make custom footbeds and why you should do it for your snowboard. So I'm really hoping that does happen. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Let's give you a spin, sir. Boop. All right, we'll pick the next question and give them a spin. That comes from A53 Productions. What do you think of the K2 Passport? I love the K2 Passport. So last year I loved the Manifest team. It is no more. They split it into 2 boards, the Antidote and the Passport. The Passport is the spiritual successor to the Manifest team. That is probably my number 1 all-mountain free ride board, recommending to people. I love the way it rides. It's got good pop, good float. It's got a great side cut on. That is just an amazing board. It is actually probably one of my number 1 selling boards through the affiliate links that I put in the bottoms or in the descriptions of every video. That board, fucking phenomenal. Like, phenomenal. Love that thing. I think Justin Clark designed that. So, yeah, can't go wrong with that. Super good. Super good. Spin again. Really? Spin again? Where are we going with this? All right. I think there's one of the weights on the back to keep it level is out of sync. You lose. Okay. We got Tel 256. Does the Disaster Plus compare more to the box knife or Scratcher, good for below average rail talent and up to large jumps. Disaster Plus is fucking overrated. It literally is. Like, I didn't get a chance to ride a Disaster into a Disaster Plus, but I've ridden a Disaster in the past. Honestly, there's no reason for there to be a Disaster Plus. There's just fucking no reason. Like, I rode it, and I don't know if it was a pre-production sample or what. It rode softer than a regular Disaster. Yeah, it had this high-end bass on it, like you fucking need it. It's a fucking railboard. Who gives a fuck? And no, like, it's nothing special. Now, out of those two boards you mentioned, it's closer to the box knife than the Scratcher. And that's just because of the camber profile. Hi, Daki. Which board should I go with coming from an old skate banana for like 10 plus years? Oh my God, I feel sorry for you. Narrowed down to the Rome Party Mod and the Capita DOA. Because you're coming off reverse camber, going to the DOA will have a learning curve for you, just so you know, because you're going to have camber. It's going to feel hooky and twitchy, and you're probably going to be miserable for the first 5 to 10 days you ride, and you're going to piss and moan. If you want an ease of entry, go with that party mod with that flat to rocker. Just understand it's going to have way more snap than your skate banana had on the first day you had it. It's just going to have way more snap. It's going to ride different, though, because you got a flat section with that rocker. I love the party mod. I own a party mod. It's like one of my favorite boards. So I'm a little biased, but I think that's the route you need to go coming off of a fucking 10-plus-year-old skate banana. All right, we got one here from DR. My older Mountain Twin and Dancehall Pro never complained about not being waxed. Picked up a new 2020 Warden Evo hat around for the same reason. Is the extruded base on there going to need waxing? No, put some structure in that bitch. Waxing is overrated. Throw some structure on it, take it in, get a nice good stone grind, get a little texture in that base. You'll be fucking happy. All right. Okay. Nevin Milakovic. Icon or Epic? I'm an Icon guy. Like, Epic can suck a fart out of my ass. I don't like waiting in lines. I'm just over the Disneyland experience that Epic has. But sometimes that's what you need to go with depending on where you're going and where you're traveling to. So, yes. I already answered that question. Brendan Walsh. Hi, Angry. I'm looking for an all-mountain freestyle board to ride the Pacific Northwest this season. 5'11", 180-pound size, 11 boots. Got any? Oh, I got recommendations for days for you, son. Okay, so you want an all-mountain freestyle board for the Northwest. You could do the Capita Mercury, but I personally would probably go up to the Mega Merc. You're just going to get more snap and pop out of it. You could even do a Super DOA if you want to go with a full true twin. Otherwise, the Jones Mountain Twin, you can't go wrong with that thing. It's going to push through that Cascade concrete you get up there. You can do the ride algorithm. If you think it's going to have too much carbon and be too stiff for you, bump down to the shadow band, but that algorithm will push better through that Cascade concrete, especially when you get like that really baked in wet pow up there that it's notorious for. Now, if you want to go over to like something from Mervin, I would look at like a LibTech TRS, maybe an E-Jackknife. A GNU Headspace will kind of work in that same category, or even a GNU 4x4 if you're cool with that. So there's multiple options for you right there. Okay, we got Bert Bondi with the super chat. Rattlesnake semen flavored Zeman to wash down the muscle cheese. Whatever it takes for you to get that muscle cheese in your body, buddy. What do we got for you? Spin again. Whatever you do, don't lick yellow snow. Okay. Oh, okay. Where was I? Oh, shit. Goddamn. We got the porn spammers in here. Okay. Oh, yeah. Let's end this poll we've got going on here too. Let's see what we got going on there. All right, so we're going to end the poll of are you donating to the Shred Foundation gear drive or waiting for the fundraiser? 36% of you said fundraiser. 30% of you are looking for the library. 18% for the gear drive, and 14% are shredding papers out of 166 votes. So that's pretty solid right there. Let's put up a new poll, and this will be really easy for you guys right now. Okay. All right, so we got a new poll. It's in the chat. Feel free to answer it. And let's see what I got going on here. Four by four therapy. Have you seen the new REI binding video? No, I don't watch REI's content. They've got someone whose position is admin assistant doing the promo. Not to mention she looks as old as my mom, maybe older. Hey, old ladies need loving too. Just you don't want to break their hip. You got to be gentle. Okay, we got Michael Kulig. Avran, is my 151 / you're too specific to donate to Shred Foundation, or just give it to them and let them learn for what it is? No, don't give them that. That's not a board for those kids. Okay, we got Ronan. Sorry if you've talked about this, but have you been to Silverton Mountain? Thinking about doing a day there. I haven't. I had a day there back in 2020 that I never got to use. So Silverton's cool. It's just one of those things. Like it's so far out. Like I'm always in when I would go. I'm in the thick of work stuff for me. So, yeah. Let's see. Okay. Orion Mosenzade. Thinking between the new Disaster and Disaster Plus, but I'm a little confused on the differences. Could you help differentiate the two boards? Yeah, the Disaster Plus is a fucking cash grab. Just get the regular Disaster. You don't even need to fucking look at it. It's not worth it. Just get the regular Disaster. You'll be fine. Especially if you're just looking for like a mid-level park board for hitting medium jumps and hitting jibs and just like learning how to butter and shit. And you want something with 3BT. Otherwise, you really don't need that Disaster Plus at all. Okay. Hey, Head92. Thoughts on the Amplid Paradigma? What other boards would you compare it to? So the Paradigma is kind of gone now, and it basically became the Singular, I think. I'm trying to remember. But when you're looking at it in like something in that category, your Black Snowboard to Death from Capita, your Ride Berserker, your K2 Passport, they all kind of fall in that category similar to it. I've answered that question enough for you. Let's see. Porter, what's up from Cali? Who makes the Casey Willex board? Grab one and do a review for us, player. They're made by GP87, so it's a Logo board. Casey was supposed to get one sent to me. I don't know where that is. I don't know if he's dropping it off when he comes through in December. I don't know. I'll talk to him. Next time I see him, I'll talk to him. So answer that question. All right. Eric Chen with the super chat. Size 10, K2 Orton, no relation to Randy, and 235 pounds. Will the K2 Passport 159 wide be too wide for me, mainly for riding with the family and some steeps by myself in the East Coast? Thank you. No, you're fine. You can do that. You can totally get away with that in there. I mean, you're just going to get more surface area. It'll be a little more stability, which would be good when you're like holding the little kids up and stuff. I think you're golden, Eric. Don't worry about it. I think you're overthinking it. Just fucking go ride. Have fun with the kids, man. Don't get hung up on shit. Jesus, that really... Man, that nut won't stay tight. That's weird. I'm going to have to take that thing apart. Okay. All right. Let's see. We got Gerald looking for a mellow board to replace my 2018 Typo to Cruise Groomers and bang side hits. Capita, Outer Space Living, Shadow Band, Jones Mountain, Twin. Anything else I should look at? You don't want the Outer Space Living. It's going to be too soft. just from what you're coming off of, you'd be better off looking at a Captain Mercury. But out of your list, the shadow band would be the one that I would really push you towards, because you said you wanted mellow and just cruise the groomers and bang side hits. That's really where I would go with that. Precise 62, is your personal shopper service still available? Yeah, there's a link down in the description on this video. So just go down in the description. You'll see it. You just got to scroll down a little bit, and it's still there. Okay. Let's see. And for anyone wondering what time I would do the Sunday live stream, it would be 9 p.m. Mountain Standard. Okay, Steve K, my ideal size for a specific board is 56, 57, but I can get a great deal on a 59. Do you think the extra 2 to 3 centimeters should be a deal breaker? This is a serious question. It depends on what board it is and what you want for it. I mean, you got to understand your swing weight changes if it's a freestyle board. Your effective edge changes regardless of what you're using it for. The width is going to be a little bit wider. So if you've got a smaller foot, that's also something to consider as well. So yeah, there's so many, there's so many things to just take into consideration with that when you're looking at it. So yeah. Okay. Let's see what we got here. We got one from Ambitious Hex. Coming from a Solomon Pulse, do you recommend a 5'10", 200-pound? I don't recommend being 5'10" and 200 pounds, but I mean, if that's your stats, that's your stats. Do you recommend the Burton Blossom or the Process all mountain rider that wants to start in the park? I'd go with the Process over the Blossom, I think. I think that's just where you need to be with that. Okay, we got AK. Yo, Avran, what's your main board you ride? Right now, it's fucking retired. It was a Telos Mike Rankwit 156, but it's clapped out and dead. I think I'm going to replace it with a 57 Shadow Band this year. If not, I'll probably just be riding my 53 Party Mod for the start of the season. Luke DeSonnier. Angry, have any companies not gone down the rocker road? In other words, who has stayed true to camber through the past 10 to 15 years? Everyone went with it on some level. It's just, where are they at right now? Now, if you look at a company and like even Mervin, you look at it, they're going more C3 on everything else. Hell, they even did that Jamie Lynn 96 is just straight camber with a radial side cut. So you look at it like they went down that route and now they're coming back. It's who's still staying behind. So you look at Never Summer and it's like, we added more rocker camber zones to your rocker camber zones. And you're like, why the fuck are you doing that? Everyone else is going the other direction, making better shit. So, you know, they'll change like in 7 years when everyone else is switching to something else. Okay. DJ Frank. Marhar Lumberjack X versus the Libtech Jamie Lynn. Depends which Jamie Lynn you're talking about. Are you talking the short wide, the 96, the freaking, he's got like 3 models. So let's just go with the fact that I think you're probably talking the short wide. They're very similar in there. The side cuts are a little bit different. I think the Lumberjack X is actually built better. It's got better snap, and it just doesn't feel as dead. It's got a little more life to it. All right. Michael Kulig with a PSA in the super chat. If you want to get stoked, watch some of the recent Shredbots content. It's a good time, which there actually is a link to Ruckus 3 in the description. I put a bunch of video links down in the descriptions for you guys so that you could get stoked on stuff. Ooh, wiener. Okay. All right. V West, what is the downside of like an inch of camber? You're going to die. I noticed how boards used to have massive camber bows, but it's toned down a lot on these days because they didn't have the flex patterns that they have now. Like they did not have the technology behind it. So you'd have all this camber to try to get that snap because they just had wood cores. They weren't adding any real carbon to it. They were just making the core thicker in there and then adding a ton of camber. So when it would break in, it would still retain some of its pop. But when you've got like this much camber, it's way hookier. It's way harder to drive. Your knees feel it at the end of the day. All right. Colton Buchanan, I've been riding for 30 years, 53 in November. Should I give up on my lifelong dream to land a 360 or just continue to ride my snowboard in broken straight lines? Dude, you just need to learn how to, first off, go strap the damn thing in your yard. Learn how to roll back onto the tail and get it to spring. And when you do, pop, look over your shoulder, and just keep looking. Get it to spin. Go dig up your yard basically with your edge. All right, and to follow up that question from Colm, would a ride Peace Seeker overlap with Nidecker Ultralight or a Cabin Mountain Tools Peregrine? No, it sits in its own realm. So yeah, okay. Luke Desonier, what makes a bad side cut? You often mention Solomon. What exactly are you noticing while riding? Well, they don't do radiuses. It's straight lines. So it just goes, then it hits this kink point. Then it goes like this. Then it hits another kink point. Well, there's no radius in there, so there's no blend. So it's just like when you're on edge, it's just like, and you feel it. You notice that it just doesn't have that grip, especially because of their cam rocker profile. Where that kink is should be right where the camber meets that rocker to come down, and it should create a point where it would lock in. It doesn't. Like, that's the whole thing. It's kind of like if you ever rode a full reverse, center reverse camber board with just a radial side cut, there's no grip whatsoever. Like, you're just like, fuck. AK, what do you recommend for a more durable version of the dance hall? I wore out the dance hall way too fast last year. Tellus backslash, maybe a nerd relic would be in there if that's something you want. Room stalefish. That should give you like 3 options there. Yoked yak, what's your favorite snack or meal on the hill? Pocket bacon. You fry up some bacon, you throw it in a plastic bag, you put it in your pocket, and then you got pocket bacon. Everyone knows this. Pocket bacon is the greatest thing on earth. All right, let's see. What do we got? Well, we got 84 votes on that poll. So let's see. Where are we? Sunday night live stream, 9 p.m. 89% said yes. 10% said no. Well, I don't know what that 1% did. But 84 votes. Looks like we're live streaming Sunday at 9. So we're going to do that. Anyways, you guys have kind of mellowed out on your questions. So I'm going to take just a few more. And then I'm going to get out of here. All right. We got Daniel Naranjo. Mega Merc versus Super DOA for all mountain riding in the Pacific Northwest. Ask yourself, do you need a true twin or a directional twin? If you need a little setback, it's the Mega Merc. You need a true twin, Super DOA. That's, you're splitting hairs at that point. So, yeah. Okay, we got Chu Chang. Avran, I need some recommendations for a narrower than average volume shifted party board. That's not going to fucking happen, dude. Why don't you just go buy a freestyle board at a smaller size since you want it narrower? Go get a twin and just get one in a smaller size. That's what I would do. All right, 4x4 therapy. Size recommendations for the K2 party platter. 5'10", 88 kilograms, size 9.5 boots. I like to kick lemurs in the dick. How much bigger if I wanted to take it into POW? So you'd be looking at like the 48 to the 52. And honestly, I'd probably just go with the 52 if you're looking for it for more POW, and you'll be fine. Yep. Okay. We got Ian Zielinski from Zielinski Motors. Loved you. Bindings, Nitro Team Pro, Katanas, or C8 for all mountain freestyle. Take your pick for any of those. They're all super solid. All right. I mean, realistically, it's going to come down to what you want in dampening. That Team Pro will be the most damp, then the C8, then the Katanas. More lateral flex, you're going to get more out of the Katana, then the Team Pro, then the C8. More power out of it, C8, Team Pro, Katana. All right, we got the Zymergy JWT. Son needs outerwear. 15 years old, 6 feet, 125 pounds, and possibly still growing. If he's 125 pounds and 6 foot, he's growing out, not up. Hopefully. Jesus Christ. Those are some really disproportionate proportions in there. He's probably going to need something narrow and tall, which would be Volcom. Volcom will hit him better because they do make that longer cut. So, yeah. All right. V West, pretty set on getting a spring break pow twin this year, but they updated it with a carbon V in the tips instead of basalt stringers tip to tail. What do you think would ride better? I haven't been on the new pow twin, but what you're going to get is just more snap out of it with that carbon over the basalt. The basalt tends to be a little more damp and not as reactive. It's got like a slower reaction time when it springs. Basically, you're just going to get a more lively board. All right, we got letters looking for one more. This is the one with his super chat spin. Donate to the Shred Foundation. All right. All right, the MBs. This won't let me ask my question as a whole. Too long. 20-year-old board teacher, 210 pounds, 6 foot, riding on man-made groomer snow. Never had a quiver. Want to start building GNU Headspace 58. Yeah, I mean, if you're using it for all around stuff, you'll be solid. Okay. Let's see. Ambitious hacks. Last question. Solomon Huck knife for the Burton process. For you, Burton process. All right. DJ Frank recently got the Vans infused boots. The stock insoles are very thick, and aftermarket footbeds end up losing volume in the boot. Suggestion? Yeah, get a thicker aftermarket footbed that fits you. Like, first off, those stock insoles on the Vans ones, they're just like that weird dildo rubber. And then, like, I mean, I've put them side by side, but you're going to tell me it's that much thicker than a Remind? You might just need a different aftermarket insole to get it in there, just to raise that volume up in there. If not, you need to order a Bontex board from tonar.com, TOGNAR.com. Look for a Bontex board. Look at the different thicknesses there. What you do is you trace that around the aftermarket footbed. You put that in underneath it. It raises you up and manipulates the foot to make you believe that you're actually in a tighter fitting boot. All right. Okay, Brendan Walsh, best addition to the quiver. If all I have now is a GNU Hyper. Oh man, you can go so many ways with this. But if you got a GNU Hyper right now, and that's kind of it, you could go get yourself a twin freestyle board. You could get yourself a party board, volume shifted, if you really wanted to. You could get yourself just a stiff ass free ride board. You got to kind of ask yourself what direction you want to go in with stuff. But you, the sky's the limit. You got one board. From here on out, like picking up more is easier. All right. Jason Robertson, 61 wide, black snowboard to death, good for Baker. I'm going to assume that that is a 11.5 boot, 200 pounds, or look at a different wide and 65. No, you're good, man. Keep doing it. All right. Let's see. Curtis 500. Use 1-year-old flow rear entry binding for cruising blue groomer days and just making laps. What's the best quick entry binding without going regular strap setup? Burton, other Supermatic. Actually, well, I take that back. The GNU like Mutant and shit, any of those SP Fast Techs, actually really good. Like they're just so old style, like with their tech in there, but they do work. Like, yeah. So that's going to be the last question I take for the day because I got to go walk the dog and then get some food in me. But yeah, anyways, Sunday night, 9 p.m. Mountain Standard. I'll do a new live stream for you guys tonight, that night. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you're donating gear to the Shred Foundation, the address is in the description of the video. If not, I've got a post up on the channel. So we got that going on for us. We also will have the fundraiser coming up for that. Reviews every day, obviously. Explain videos on Monday, top 5 videos on Wednesdays. Trying to work on a few more things. But yeah, hopefully this stoked you guys out. Thanks again for tuning in. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here, you can always swing over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Got a video over there that kind of explains it. Got to redo that. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys in another video.